Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber, joined here on set by attorney Terri Austin and New York Law School professor Kirk Burkhalter. Thank you both for coming here and breaking down the biggest live trials and legal stories in the news today. We have so much to discuss today. What a busy day on a Friday, but then again, so much happens on a Friday. So let's get started right now. We got to talk about R. Kelly. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse for the R&B star who was already facing almost 24 sexual assault and abuse charges, it just did. First, Kelly was arrested last night in Chicago on federal child pornography, sex trafficking, and obstruction of justice charges. Then we learned that a 5-count indictment in the Eastern District of New York will be unsealed later today as well, and we believe those will be racketeering charges. Apparently, Kelly was taken into custody while walking his dog, and this comes as a result of an ongoing collaboration between several departments, including the NYPD and Homeland Security. His next court date is scheduled for August 16th, and the trial on those charges will be in early 2020. But let's not forget, he still has to appear in New York on these other charges. So let's start with this. Terri, I'm going to begin with you. My gosh, were you surprised by this?
I was surprised by this. I think time's up for R. Kelly. Remember, he was on trial way back in 2002 and acquitted in 2008. So now we have these new charges against him while he's out on bail. I believe that the system is going to get him one way or another.
Professor Burkhalter, let me ask you this. Did they have this in their back pocket, or were they still investigating it? Was the R. Kelly legal team playing hardball and they threw this out them? What do you think?
I would think that they have been investigating this for some time. So, R. Kelly has a history with regards to the criminal justice system, his reputation with regards to all these allegations. And certainly the Eastern District of New York doesn't take these charges lightly. It's not something they would put together in just a matter of weeks or whatever the case. And this is a heavy charge, racketeering. It certainly implies some form of enterprise type action, perhaps transporting persons or other types of contraband or something else across state lines. This is a serious charge.
What's it like being his defense counsel? Because it's one thing to try to say that he's being charged with sexual assault and abuse, but federal child pornography charges, that's much easier to prove, right?
Absolutely. And if I were his defense counsel, what I would do is
cry?
I would cry.
Right, okay.
And then I would hire a PR person, because he clearly needs someone to hold his hand and guide him and show him what he should be doing right now. He should be at home. He should be doing nothing but trying to obey the law. And clearly he continues to do his actions.
Well, that's assuming that these are things that happened after he was arrested, but no, it seems like they had this in their back pocket for a while. But the question, Professor Burkhalter, is, and I think his PR person did speak up and said that they weren't surprised by this, that they were expecting this. I don't know if that's actually just what they wanted to say, but what do you recommend if you were representing the R. Kelly team moving forward? Because it seems insurmountable. They are facing charges on every front.
I think Terri makes a great point. There is one thing that the criminal justice system despises, and that is when activity is ongoing. Once a person's been charged, then more than one time. So in other words, you have not learned your lesson.
Yeah.
We've seen this with organized crime, in the 80s and 90s and so forth. And once the federal justice system kind of gets their claws in you, they're not going to let go. So I would agree that, if you look at his TV appearances and everything else, it really has not helped him at all.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it, and we'll have to let you know when we have more information on what's going on with Mr. Kelly.